If someone came up to me today and said, hey, look, Nancy Pelosi is buying this stock right now, there are no hints or watches from her. She is actively buying. The price is so low that it feels illegal. This has a lot of potential for AI, is good for infrastructure, and has ties to Congress. One thing I want to tell you is to pay attention, because this isn't new garbage from the Wall Street Echo Mill. This is where smart money and power meet. And now you'll see 5 stocks that Nancy Pelosi is putting a lot of money on. Some of them are priced so low that they look like mistakes on your trading app. Before we start, this isn't one of those top 5 lists that you just click on and forget about. Please watch the whole video because I'm about to show you 3 stocks that Pelosi just bought. Not just reports, real buys. And one of them is less than $5 and has huge promise. If you miss this, you'll never know what's going on again. Let's make a deal on stock number 1. It's like the smart kid in the back of the class who stays out of the way. It's not noticed until the whole test is redone and the slope is broken. The name of that company is NVIDIA. That wouldn't be right. Nancy Pelosi just bought the company. Again, and she has almost $5 million in it. Our subject is none other than Alphabet, Inc. and Google. I know what you're thinking. Alphabet, who is the trillion-dollar giant? Yes, what Pelosi's team does, though, is something you're not seeing. The alphabet is not complete yet. It's not even close. It's still way too cheap at $187 per share, even though it's dominating AI and building out its cloud infrastructure. To begin, understand this. Finally, Google Cloud is making money? That's right. For years, this part lost money, but it turned green in 2024. That's a new form of working leverage. That means free cash flow that can grow. That means the company can now control enterprise-level AI tools while still having control over search, YouTube, Android, and the world's most powerful data collection machine. But what do you think Pelosi and her staff are focusing on? How AI is being used in Google search. Alphabet rolled out AI overviews in more than 120 countries by June 2025. Users no longer just get a list of links. They learn more. That means Google's whole way of making money is about to get a huge upgrade, and click-through rates are already going up. That and the fact that DeepMind's LLM Gemini 2 did so well in standard tests have set off an AI arms race. Google is running laps on this one. But here's the catch. Alphabet is still being priced by Wall Street like it's just a search engine. The forward PE is set at about 22. For a company whose earnings are rising by 28% year over year, has $150 billion in cash, no debt, and what is likely the largest moat in tech, that's crazy. This is a classic Pelosi pick. It is very profitable, quietly disruptive, and fundamentally impossible to beat. It is clear from the reports that both Google and Google Class shares have gone up. We're not adjusting here. Yes, this is belief. And Pelosi has rarely been wrong in the past when she acts with conviction. In early 2023, before it took off, she bought a lot of NVIDIA. She was very mean to Microsoft before merging between Chat and GPT was made public. She's now back on Alphabet and stepping it up. Now, let me ask you this. Are you really ready to be the person who saw Alphabet for $187 and said, no thanks, I'll wait? Because who knows, this could be $230 or $250 next quarter. You'll think back and say, Pelosi was buying and I missed it. If you think that's crazy, just wait until you see stock number 2. Because the price of this next one is less than $10. Pelosi agreed with it. Alphabet looks like a savings bond when you look at the upside. At $187, Alphabet is a clear choice. But let's turn it up. This next stock is worth less than $8 because Pelosi just bought it. That's right. We're now in the land of tiny stocks, but not the shady kind. This company is real. It makes real money and has huge contracts with the government. Now, Nancy Pelosi is buying more shares in the business to support it. This is about BigBear.ai, BBAI. The stock price today is $7.63. Type that in. Now let's look at this high-speed government-linked AI intelligence software that Wall Street didn't know about until Pelosi stepped in. What does BigBear.ai do? The company does prediction analytics and AI that works on its own. That sounds fancy, but let me explain what it means. Their job is to help the U.S. military, intelligence community, and defense contractors use data to make quick, important choices. They are built right into the system for making decisions about national security. That's not only important, it can't be touched. But this is where things go crazy. Just in the first quarter of 2025, BigBear.ai got new government contracts worth $172 million. That's more than twice as much money as they made in 2023. Pelosi bought something after the contracts were made public, which shows she thinks there will be more, a lot more. Who is their biggest partner? Palantir. These two work together on large-scale AI applications for duty systems. What makes you think Congress doesn't know about that? Do you think Pelosi doesn't know where the next government money for AI will go? Please. Also, don't believe the penny price. It's not a pump and dump. Insiders are buying BigBear.ai shares instead of selling them because it has positive EBITDA for the first time in its history. The float is low, institutions are starting to put money in, and now Pelosi has joined the conversation. That's not store hype, that's money for power. The market value of this stock is less than $1 billion. If they only get a small percentage of the contracts they're set up for, you could see a 3 to 5 times return in the next 24 months, and that's being modest. They just opened a brand new federal AI integration lab in Virginia. By the end of Q4, the company should list new agreements with NATO countries. If you watch this and think, man, I haven't heard of this before, that's the point. They talk about BigBear.ai, but the move is over by the time they do. Pelosi is now here. Shopping either comes before you or you're late. Before we talk about stock number 3, which is backed by Pelosi and has a direct link to the supply line for AI chips, I want to say 2 things. Let's get 10 likes today. Also subscribe and click that bell to make sure you don't miss what I'm putting out next, because these next few plays are really hot. Also, let me say quickly that this is not financial advice. No, I'm not a business expert. Just let me show you what the most important woman in Congress buys with her own money. You need to learn more on your own. Following this, I will offer you a shortcut. I want to give you something special because you're watching this video. This is the exact method I used to find Palantir before it went public. It's full of strategies that you can use right away. There's no filler or extraneous information. This is it. If you really want to find those lopsided bets that make you a lot of money. If you want to get free stocks through Robinhood, don't forget to use my reference link in the description or the comments. You can get up to $200 just for making an account and depositing money into it. Robinhood lets me trade quickly and get to my choices. You should do the same if you want to be a part of these Pelosi moves as soon as they happen. Okay, are you ready? Because this next stock Pelosi just bought is even stranger than Alphabet and BigBear.ai. Wall Street still hasn't priced it in, even though it's an important part of AI tech. Pelosi is buying a lot. The company is quietly getting orders from the government, and its stock price is less than $50. Let's talk about this $47 beast that Pelosi just bought. This stock lets you be quiet. The business that doesn't try too hard to get noticed, but instead makes it easy for others to take off. There should be no buzzwords or news, just action. While everyone is looking for the next big thing in AI, Nancy Pelosi just bought stock in the company that makes those AI dreams come true. It's about Super Microcomputer Incorporated, or SMCI. Let me say this if that name doesn't sound familiar. Your best AI firms wouldn't work without SMCI. There are no NVIDIA chips or AMD accelerators that can be used in a data center without special scalable rack-mounted server systems. And Supermicro is the best player in that game. How much is the stock right now? 47.22s. If that number looks like a mistake, it's not. This year, the stock went through a huge run to over $1,100, but after a recent 20-for-1 stock split, it's now selling very cheaply, which Pelosi is using to her advantage. Now, I'll talk about why this is a generational setup. For starters, this isn't just a guess. Supermicro is making money. Their sales are growing at a rate of 50% or more year over year, and they just added a new 1 million square foot building in Malaysia to help them grow. They're stepping up to meet demand for AI servers around the world. That's up from 7.1 billion just 2 years ago. The company thinks it will make $20 billion in FY 2026. In less than 36 months, that's growth of almost 3 times. The stock still has time to catch up. Pelosi also knows something that stores don't. For NVIDIA's H100 and H200 chips, Supermicro is the best assembler. Customers don't go straight to NVIDIA when they place orders. Supermicro is where they go for fully integrated systems, special cooling, and the ability to scale up or down. That means that SMCI racks are needed for all new AI data center projects, no matter who they are, from Microsoft, Oracle, Meta, etc. That's like being the owner of a company that makes digital concrete during a boom in AI skyscrapers. But this is where things get hotter. Based on her most recent papers, Pelosi didn't just invest a little in SMCI. She put a lot of money into it with call options that will expire in 2026. That's the most determined thing she's done in months. You know what that means if you know how Pelosi deals. It's not a deal. You can bet that Supermicro is just getting started. I bet you're thinking why the stock dropped after it hit its high point. That is a great question. It's easy to say. It was too hot and moved too quickly. People forget, though, that the basics never broke. Their most recent earnings were 12% higher than expected, and their earnings per share, EPS, are still going up. The selling off, rotation that is only technical, the company hasn't changed, but a price cut has been made. It's clear to Pelosi, need more proof? Supermicro and Intel have just announced that they will work together to speed up the adoption of Xeon-based AI servers. In other words, they're not just riding NVIDIA, they're also riding Intel's AI push. This shows what picks and shovels are, the essential framework that holds everything together. If you missed NVIDIA at $150, this is your chance to make up for it. $47 for a company that will make $20 billion by 2026, work with NVIDIA, Intel, and all of the world's biggest hyperscalers, and Pelosi is giving you a lot of choices. Now is not the time to think twice. There are still people fighting on Reddit about PE ratios at this point, but the smart money has already moved in. Don't forget that we've only talked about 3 stocks so far. There was Alphabet, BigBear.ai, and now Supermicro. Pelosi didn't stop there, though. Indeed, one of the most shocking things she bought not long ago, a very small defense stock that is trading for less than $3 is totally unknown. That's right. Hold on tight if you think this is crazy so far. We're going to look at 2 more stocks that Pelosi is buying. One of them could be the most exciting chance on this list. Okay, fasten your seatbelts. This one will make your head drop. Pelosi just bought a tiny defense tech company for less than $3. That's right. She bought something that was dirt cheap and full of defense AI tech. This just caused the trade bots to hit a second high. Let me tell you about KE Inc. The price of KE, ticker K on NASDAQ, shares is 2.87 right now. You read that right? What does KE do? They are experts at making defense training tools that use AI. Take a deep breath. VR platforms that the U.S. military uses for everything from training for drones and battle to cybersecurity operations and more. This is not a small business. The company has signed $45 million in new government contracts this quarter alone, but it's still short-staffed. Its trailing revenue is $120 million. That's 40% more money coming in than the previous quarter, and Pelosi doubled down as soon as these wins were made. It's not hype. The word for this is action. CACI recently signed a $200 million 3-year deal with the U.S. government to provide their AI simulation modules to different military departments. That creates a steady stream of income that most tiny stocks can only dream of. But here's the really cool part. KE said it would work with Palantir and Raytheon to make a next-generation simulation of drone fighting. With the same background that has helped BigBear.ai grow, KE is no longer a secret. It's an important point. This thing needs a re-rate badly because its market cap is just under $150 million. In her paperwork, Pelosi lists that she bought call options in the August 2026 series. That's a big bet. That means she can see the runway and is getting ready to take off. Money matters, positive cash flow, taking care of debt, about 20% of the margin. And the profit margin is getting better every quarter. Why the pipeline? Getting bigger fast. Both in the United States and with NATO partner countries, insiders who used to be buyers are still buyers. That's also rare blood in the world of cheap stocks. Let me hit you now. These defense systems bring in steady income and can be renewed for more than 1 year. They also work with the way Congress funds things. Pelosi is taking care of those bills for funds. It's not a big surprise that she thinks CAE will be a big hit before the next defense spending wave. This is what asymmetric upside means. Even a small price increase to $6 or $8 from $2.87 makes it a 2 to 3 times stock. In the next 12 months, go up to $12, 4x plus. What if they make 2 big deals with other countries? Who knows? This could be 5 times the price. It has Pelosi in it. You can now be too. Do you remember? Not a summary. There is no break. We're going with the flow to the next pick. Prepare. The 5th stock is right behind this one. And I promise you, it will blow your mind. Let me know when you're ready for stock number 5. The pace won't slow down, the excitement will be at full tilt, and we'll hit the mark. AI is being used to find threats in industry and infrastructure areas. Pelosi heard about Claroty after they said they were working with Cisco Systems to protect important buildings and getting a big deal from the Department of Energy. Price right now, $24.78. That's not a lot of money for a business that provides cyber AI that businesses and states need. You won't find this in most hacking plays. The AI models at Claroty map and watch over industrial control systems all the time, finding risks before they go nuclear. To the point. There are power plants, water treatment plants, pipes, and a lot more. One leak makes the news all over the country. Claroty keeps an eye on AI. In their Q2 2025 report, they said that subscriptions grew 90% year over year, that ARR reached $300 million, that gross margins were over 70%, and that EBITDA turned positive this quarter. Profit, growth, and size. In AI, that's called a triple danger. Pelosi had a lot at stake. It's more than 500,000 in calls and stock. It looks like this is the computer AI she wants for the next wave. This one could really take off. New rules for workplace cybersecurity are part of the bipartisan infrastructure law. That means Claroty's TAM grew really big overnight. They've already been approved by CISA and put to use at DOE sites. That's not just a guess. It has shrunk. That's a promise of income. Also, don't forget about Cisco, which is the world's biggest networking company. Claroty works with any infrastructure and puts AI defense on top of it. That kind of built-in benefit isn't usually taken into account until it's way too late. But Pelosi saw it coming early. $25 for a business with $300 million in annual revenue, margins of 70% or more, huge government support, a moat powered by AI, and a lot of recurring income. This kind of company has gone 3 to 4 or 5 times its value in the first 12 to 18 months after going public in the U.S. industrial AI market. Under Pelosi's filings, there are call options until 2027, a high confidence rate, and a long runway. That tells me she thinks it will be $40, $50, or even $75 in the next 12 to 24 months. This isn't a risk either. It's the type of high-risk, government-backed AI play that she is famous for. You're now definitely a front-runner if you've made it this far. Here are links to everything you need. Use the Robinhood link in the comment or description that is saved. You could get up to $200 worth of free stocks when you sign up and fund your account. Great for getting right into any of these Pelosi plays when they come up. This isn't filler. It's the exact plan I used to find these picks before anyone else. 100x isn't a buzzword.